I often find myself talking to students about how to process when someone has said something rude, made a rude or judgmental comment or opinion, vocalize that about them in class, in public, or privately. There are 3 things that I tell students routinely that help to reject that negative influence, to reject allowing those negative words to impact our confidence and our sense of worth. I'm going to break these 3 things up into 3 different episodes just to honor having these be short snippets for you to chew on in a short amount of time. So the first thing that you can do when someone says something rude, negative, or shares a negative opinion is to know the truth. There's a couple things I like to tell students about knowing the truth. First, if you were to take a walk and on the sidewalk you see a pile of doggy doo, you know exactly what it is. You don't need to get closer. You don't need to inspect it. You certainly don't need to pick it up and take it home with you. And so the first thing we can do, knowing the truth, is recognizing doggy doo for what it is. When someone spits out negative words at you, oftentimes we can just recognize what that is and not pick it up, not take it home with us, not inspect it. It's just doggy doo. And we're going to leave it on the sidewalk where someone plopped it there. The second thing I tell students about knowing the truth is to evaluate trust level with someone. I look at trust as a scale, 0 to 10. And there's a lot to unpack with this, with relationships and friendships and levels of friendships. But for the sake of this conversation, picture the people that you trust the most that are at the top of the scale. And then maybe a little bit lower on the scale, 7, 6s, people that are good friends that you trust with a lot, but not quite everything. And then maybe lower on the scale is people that you have more of a shallow connection with, but they're fun to talk to. You don't go deep really, but they're still nice to talk to about some things you have in common. And then picture the people that you trust at 0, either because they're strangers and you have no connection with them, or because they've hurt you and you've lost trust for them. But picture those people that you trust at 0. It's not that we need to put energy into hating them or calling them our enemies. That's not the goal. The goal is to have a very matter-of-fact perspective that we trust them 0. And when we trust somebody at a 0 and that person makes a comment, we can coach ourselves to remember, hold on, wait a minute. I have 0 trust for this person, which means their opinion matters 0 to me. I can let that opinion go. It matters 0. That opinion doesn't make the cut. But it's not always how it feels. We have to coach ourselves because our original emotion, our original reaction is to feel something. It makes us feel some kind of way when someone is rude or makes a negative comment. So we have to coach ourselves to remind ourselves, hold on, that opinion doesn't make the cut for me. I can let that go. However, there's another step that we need to do to cope with the emotions and how it makes us feel. I'll unpack that in the next episode. Thanks for listening.